Hey everyone, Cam Roberts and Steve Plummer here on another live business broadcast. Thanks for joining us, Steve, on today's broadcast.
And happy mask lockdown day, Cam.
Happy mask, happy lockdown, wherever you're watching from, New South Wales, Queensland, enjoying the lockdowns in the coldest time of year too. It's raining,
Yes.
you're right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're all inside looking at the rain, wondering what to do. But anyway, it could be worse things to happen, I guess.
Absolutely.
Like running out of toilet paper, that would be bad.
I'm sure just go to your neighbour. I'm sure they've got a stockpile, right?
Yeah, someone's got all the toilet paper and jats in Budrum where I live. You go up to Woolworths and the jats are gone and the toilet paper's gone. And I thought, well, if you're going to eat jats, you're going to need toilet paper, aren't you?
100%. Jats of all things, though. Gosh.
I know, it was really odd. Yeah, all the Jats biscuits. Maybe it's people buying Jats biscuits to go with their alcohol, Steve. Because you can still buy
the dip.
The dip and all that sort of stuff. They're going to have parties over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back down to business. So today, Steve, you're going to share an important topic. It's called the 6 mindset hacks that remove stress and overwhelm from your next marketing campaign. So you're on the hot seat today, Steve.
All right, let's dive in. Look, Cam, where this came from, I was asked earlier in the week. Look, so what do you think about what's going through your head when before you write anything, before you plan a campaign out? And I just went, oh, geez, I don't know. So it was a really good question, right? And it really got me thinking a bit more about, because a lot of those things, you and I have been doing this for a long time, Cam, and so a lot of the things that we do are just quite automatic, right? We're very much on that autopilot. It just comes so easily and naturally. And so this was a real grinding of the gears moment for me, right? Where I had to go manual and think, oh, geez, what am I thinking about? And it's not that I don't think about things beforehand, but what are the principles that actually drive a campaign, a successful campaign? Because as you and I know, we've been responsible for some really, really successful campaigns, $1 million, multi-million-dollar and things like that. We don't always nail it like that, of course, and no one ever does. And if anyone says they do run a mile, they're lying. But what? So it really got me. It really got me thinking about what are those 6 things. And it's what I've got to share today is all of them, but not all of them, if you know what I mean. Like they're 6 of the big rocks, but I'm sure there are other things too that over the next week I'll think, oh, I should have said that, So what I want to do, I just want to, these are the ones that came to the, I guess the forefront of my mind, when I was asked that question. And the number one thing for me is never underestimate the difficulty of the task, right? We always think, oh, look, I'm really good at what I do. We've got a good track record. We're heartfelt. I hate this word, but we're passionate about what we do. And, we're really good at it. We've got good results. And so we see a lot of the next campaign often through that filter. And it's really easy just to think that, well, because of all those things, I tick all those boxes, that it's going to be really easy to sell. And that, as you know, Cam, that often is not the case, I mean, we also have to understand that, buyers, when they come to us, they have this certain anxiety, and it's an anxiety that is driven from, being ripped off in the past, perhaps for some people, even, or things just not going well, even when there was no, deliberate fault on anyone's part. Sometimes in life and business, things just don't work out. And so buyers are always anxious, right? And we tend to forget that because, well, I do a really good job. I've got good results. My clients are really good. And so that's probably the first thing, Cam. Is one of the things that drives me is that, okay, this won't be easy. How can we reduce that anxiety and all those sorts of things that the buyer actually turns up with?
Yeah, that's really good. And, when you're talking about the buyer, I should probably point out that it's both online and offline, right? So it doesn't matter whether the buyer comes in to buy a coffee from a coffee shop, or buys a car from a car yard, or buys a new home from a real estate agent, or it's someone buying a product online. It could be a book, it could be a mini course, it could be, a coaching or consulting program or service. All of those things, that's a really good point. Never underestimate the task at hand of selling anything, whether it's a $4 book or a $40,000 program. It takes just as much energy, effort, time, and commitment to make a $4 sale as it does a $40,000 sale.
Yeah, and I think too, part of that is we're often so close to and immersed in what we do there are part of us believes that the buyer will be as well. And you and I know that's not the case, you know. So we've just got to be really mindful of that. Take a step back and see that this mightn't be so easy. You know, we all want to be positive, and we all want to go, yeah, we can go and get it. And, you know, yeah, this is going to work really well. That's all well and good. But you also have to balance that out with, well, you know, this might be hard. And what am I going to do to reduce that anxiety so it isn't an impossible task?
Yeah, that's really good. All right, Steve, let's kick it on and talk about number 2. What's the second mindset hack for removing stress and overwhelm?
Yeah, so I think that leads quite nicely, Cam, into the next one, and it's well, so what? So everything you do pass through the so what filter. You know, whether it's a headline, you know, let's just be really practical about it. If it's a headline, you know, XYZ business's grand opening, for example. Well, so what? You know, from a consumer's point of view, if it was XYZ business's grand opening, save 20%, you know, one day only. Yeah. So what? Well, okay, I can actually save money if I'm interested in whatever that store is. You know?
That's really good.
Yeah. So always have that. Well, ask yourself that question: whether it's a headline, whether it's an offer, whether it's you're planning your funnels. You know, so what? You know, and because that's going to be what's an unspoken question in your market's head, right? So what?
Yeah. What's that mean to me? That's really good. Yeah.
And it's so easy, right? 2 words. So what? But it can really focus you. You know.
Yeah, excellent. Very good. All right. And then you're talking about content and adding the so what filter. And I think that lends itself to number 3. We're talking about, you know, what's number 3 of that mindset hack?
Yeah. And this one, again, is fairly self-evident, but it's surprising how often I see this mistake being made, Cam, is that every communication must be self-contained. And what I mean by that is that you've got to have whatever media it is, whether it's SMS or email or a social media post or a sales letter or a website or whatever the media is you're reaching your market in, right? It's got to have a self-contained message so that it can stand alone. And I think I always have that mindset of, well, you know, if this is the only time they see my SMS, email, has it got all the information that I need to give them for them to be able to make a decision? Yeah,
that's really good.
You know, and you might say, well, hang on, with an SMS, you can only have 160 characters. Fair enough. You've got to work within the media that you're playing with, but still, has it got everything they need to make a decision?
Yeah, and the decision for the SMS could be just to click through to get the information, right? Correct. So, you know, if there's a lot of information to sell them, something like an SMS, the decision, do they have enough information in that one SMS, the 180 characters, to make a decision to click through and watch your video, right? Yeah. Or to make a decision to press that, buy now button, or that button to go and see your supplements website or whatever it is you're selling, right?
Yeah. And so I guess just to put a bit of scaffolding or put a bit of meat on the bone to that scaffolding, you know, is the transformation you're offering clear? Is there proof? You know, is there value? Is the call to action really clear? You know, so you do have to work hard that each individual piece that goes out that's part of a big funnel and campaign, you know, it does stand alone. You know, you could pull one of them out and go, yeah, I've got enough to make a decision on. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. All right. So number 4, Steve. Yeah, you never assume. Always follow up, right? I've got again, we make this assumption a lot, you know, no response means no never. That's what we think, you know. And it's easy to be disappointed and wallow, you know. You can't do it. You should do it because you're human, but maybe not do it for 3 or 4 days or a week or something. But you know, we do think that no means no forever. I'll just give you 2 quick examples, Cam. Number 1, I was talking with a client during the week, and they were talking about the advertising rep that rings up. Now, most business owners have had the call from the newspaper going, you know, where, oh, we've got a special on, you know, this month, you know, if you buy ad space, we'll give you 2 more ads free and whatever. You know, and that's just them trying to sell their distressed space that they can't fill. You know, but the business owner was saying to me, you know, it's funny, I always get those calls, but I never get the call following up asking me if I want to continue with the ad. And you know, and they said it'd be so simple. I'd probably want to, but I just don't because I don't have time to make the phone call, or it's not in. If they rang up and said, "Hey, do you want to continue that?" I'd probably say yes. And you know, thinking about that even just a little bit further, why aren't they ringing up and saying, "Hey, you know, we'll continue that ad for you. You know, for the next 2 weeks, you'll save 20% on it." Make it easy for them, you know. Yet that no contact or that no gushing response, we often take it as a no, you know. So be really careful about assuming that a no is a no when it just may not be. It just may be I've been too busy.
Yeah, that's right. And it's also about having those systems and processes in place that can help you follow up those no's, because you know, we talk to salespeople as well in our business, and you know, salespeople are notorious for calling the leads once and saying, "I couldn't get that lead, so therefore it's a no." And it's like, well, how many times did you call them? Well, I called them once and I left a message. Well, they're not going to call you back, right? Like, we
hey, Kim, I'm just ringing back so you can sell me something, you know.
We just paid for that lead, right? So okay, you got 2 out of 10. Like, call the other 8 another 3 or 4 times, or at least have a system that once you get them into your funnel, into your process, you've got a bit of a mini system that follows them up and nurtures them automatically. Like, you know, people are so busy these days. They've got so much on their mind, you know, lockdowns and everything else that's going on. You know, it's going to take more than one hit to make a sale, you know, in 2021 and beyond, right? Yeah. So that's a really good one.
Yeah. Hey, Cam, it's Steve here. I'm just returning your call. I'm now ready for you to sell me something, right? No,
that's right.
No one makes that call, right?
No one makes the call. Never, ever. Never, ever.
Yeah. And just the other quick one, Cam, I remember you and I spoke about this. Remember I was really busy, and I'd had a meeting with a guy, and I hadn't decided yes or no whether I'd buy, but I got an email from him, or an SMS or a message saying, "Look, hey, we both know that you're not going to buy, so let's just end it here and stop wasting our time." Like, well, the answer is definitely no now.
That's all right. He just made your mind up.
Yeah,
he made your mind up for you, didn't he?
I seriously hadn't decided. And he said something like, "I could tell from your tone you weren't really interested." Well, I was busy. My mother was passing away. Like, you know. Don't assume. No. You know, it's a fatal mistake. Oh, totally.
Yeah. It's terrible. I mean, think about it. If he does that if that sales guy or girl does that to 5 or 10 people a week, you know, how much business is he losing? It's just crazy.
Oh, you know? It was. It really took me back. Of, oh, dude, that's bad salesmanship. You know.
Yeah. I think so many people underestimate, how committed you have to be to make a sale.
Like he went through all the things to get me on the call and then just dropped me, you know, like, and it just was a case for me. I just wasn't quite ready, and he assumed it as a no, you know. Really interesting case study it was.
Absolutely.
And that probably leads me to number 5, Cam, is failure. Expect failure, welcome failure. It's going to happen. You know,
that's good.
No one gets it right 100% of the time. No one is that good. All right.
Yeah.
No one is that good. So welcome failure, wallow for a little while, but then take it as the message that you're one step closer to success. You know. Yeah. You know, by all means, be disappointed because it sucks. You know, not a campaign, an email, or whatever. That feels horrible. It feels like rejection. Wallow for a little bit, but then just pick yourself up and get back into the game. You know.
Yeah, that's really good. And the benefit of today's technology, Steve, is that. You know, you can have your wallow and you can have your failures, but it's also a learning experience because you can learn from that. Like, you can put out a bad email or a poor performing funnel or a poor performing ad, and you can actually get data and feedback from that, you know, through the metrics and the open rates and the click-throughs and whatever you're looking at. And that allows you to, you know, sit back and go, well, wasn't that interesting? You know, is the conversation you should have in your head. Wasn't that interesting? That happened when I did that. I wonder if I change that one thing or change that other thing over there to see if I can get a better result.
Yeah. I think too, we understand too that the world is so busy that your disaster, your failure is forgotten about because there's another one tomorrow or their own tomorrow. Yeah. Like, life moves on really quick these days, right?
Yeah. I often say to people, like, you know, your clients or your potential customers are not thinking about you. They're actually thinking about themselves 99.9% of the time. So if you send that email out today, they've forgotten about it as soon as they opened and closed it. You know, they don't remember that typo or that mistake, but we get hung up on it, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, which is natural and normal, you know?
Yeah, totally. All right, and number 6, Steve?
Yeah, number 6 to finish off. Yep, and this is, I guess, it's almost a fix-all, or at least a first way to try and fix things if it's not going well, is clarity around the problem you solve. So your headline on your website, your email subjects, whatever it might be, if it's not really clear the value you offer really quickly, then that's where you've got to go back and do some work. They need to grasp it really fast. Just for example, online, your website, if your headline doesn't tell them in strong language the problem that you solve in as fewer words as possible, the value you offer, they'll go on to the next website. 3 to 5 seconds per page they land on. Everyone doing a search has got 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 tabs open. So if you're not getting that traction, have a look at the clarity of your message, and in particular that the problem you solve and the value you offer. You might want to re-language a lot of that messaging. So for example, I read an email yesterday to my list, car tires that last 25% longer than today's top selling brands.
Yeah,
I just made that up, right? I don't know if
I'm thinking of that because I need car tires.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See how that got your attention, right? Straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because there was some great value to the person in that situation. So always think through that clarity of what problem are you solving? What transformation do you offer? And is your messaging on point with that? That's a really important one,
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. And you had another couple that you sent through before. Do you want to read those other ones out, because they're quite good as well?
Oh yeah, again they were just off it. They're not real, right? But the first one was get to number 1 on Google faster than any other SEO solution.
Yeah, that's good.
That's that clarity of the value you offer. And then the other one, eliminate germs from the home with new supercharged anti-bacterial wipes.
I like that. Supercharged anti-bacterial wipes. Isn't that good?
Thank you.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. But again, they were just examples off the top of my head, right? To what is the clarity about the problem that you solve? I suppose that third one there is really good for these current times, right? But just be really clear about that transformation you offer and the value in that transformation. It's that value in the transformation that's really important.
Yeah, that's really cool. Hey, Steve, we're almost out of time, but you've shared some good mindset hacks there for overcoming stress and overwhelm for marketing campaigns. If folks are listening to this and they resonate with it a little bit and they want some more information or want to reach out to you, where do they go and what do they do to get some help with their marketing from you?
Yeah, Cam, probably our next step is I've got a little booklet that probably takes about 7 or 8 or 6 minutes to read, the 7 golden rules that create $1 million marketing campaigns. And I guess I challenge you with that to test your last campaign against the rules, those 7 golden rules that I've created, and see how your last campaign went. What are the holes, and therefore how can you fix it? So if you want a copy of that, just go to symmetrymarketing.com.au. Enter your name and your email address, and you'll get that instantly. So that's Symmetry Marketing, SYMMETRY, symmetrymarketing.com.au, and you can download that freebie.
Excellent. And we'll make sure, if you're watching this in the Facebook group, we'll make sure that link goes down in the comments below where you're watching this or watching the replay, so you can grab it there as well.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks very much, Steve. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Cam. Good to see everyone again. And as the saying goes today, stay safe. But anyway.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, Cam. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.